Hello, everyone, for today's growth call. Sorry for the delay. We had some issues with the old event. We were not able to start the broadcast at all, so we had to recreate a new event. So hopefully you are finding this new event, or at least the recording. So yeah, hopefully it should work, but maybe it's just about that we do it on Wednesday this week. Normally we do it on Thursdays, so we got punished by the YouTube gods. So stay with us today. So hello everyone again who is watching this live stream or the recording of this week's growth call. I'm Christoph Atteneder and I'm your host today. I didn't post the Google Hangout invitation link in the chat, so I will do this live today as we had minor issues. So now the link should be available for you in the chat. So you can click on it, join us here in the Hangout like Felix is doing today. Or if you just want to watch the live stream on YouTube, feel free to post your comments and questions in the live chat on the left. Today, I want to show you that Bisq not only needs to grow in volume, but also in contributors and community. We'll also talk about our upcoming liquidity weeks, and as always, we'll try to answer all your questions. A quick information up front, again, for everyone who is joining us for the first time and maybe don't know what Bisq is. So Bisq is the only real decentralized fiat cryptocurrency exchange out there. So you can exchange fiat currencies like Swiss franc with Bitcoin, or you can also exchange crypto with other cryptocurrencies. Our growth calls, like the one today, are about exchanging learnings on how to grow the Bisq network itself. We decided last year to focus for the next couple of months, especially on liquidity on Bisq. And we mean with liquidity to increase the number of buy and sell offers available on the platform. As today's call is also about the upcoming 2 liquidity weeks, I want to explain quickly what we actually mean with liquidity week. So it's 1 week where everyone who is participating tries to have 1 buy and 1 sell offer available all the time. So by doing that, we try to kickstart pushing a market on a Bisq client network. Everyone who participates not only supports decentralized exchanges like Bisq, but will also receive 20 BSQ tokens on top. The BSQ token itself has different utilities within the Bisq DAO. It will be released within the next couple of months. So you can vote with the BSQ token, you can transfer it, buy, sell it, or you can pay the trading fees with it. If you want to know more about the Bisq DAO, there is a great white paper, or you can watch for example, our first tech session. As always, I will post the links in the descriptions below. As it came up on the last liquidity week, if you participate and you get compensated with 20 BSQ tokens, and you are starting up the Bisq client and looking in the Bisq DAO section, if you have gotten the 20 BSQ tokens already, you might just see 0 tokens at the moment. The reason of that is that it's not live yet. So we will release the Bisq, the code and the client for the Bisq DAO on testnet first, maybe in the next 1 or 2 months. And if everything goes fine, then we will release on the production blockchain, and then you will see your BSQ tokens as well in the production client. Until then, we have a voting spreadsheet, and you can always have a look in the following months, and there you will see your BSQ tokens, and then you can also participate in the voting rounds as well. So that's for the BSQ token. As you might know already, we'll run 2 liquidity weeks in parallel from the 2nd to 8th of July. It will be for Bitcoin Swiss franc market and the Monero Bitcoin market. So if you are based in Switzerland, please leave a thumbs up on our liquidity week issue on GitHub, or just tell us in Slack that you want to participate in the upcoming week, a liquidity week, and we'll try to take you from there. The same, of course, goes for Monero. So it's really easy. You just have to download the Bisq client, have Bitcoins available, and for taking part in the Bitcoin Swiss franc liquidity week, of course, you need to be able to make transfers with Swiss franc, and to participate in the Monero liquidity week, you also need some Moneros to participate. For me personally, yeah, sorry.
Sorry. Just a reminder that you don't need to be based in Switzerland. There's also some options like Revolut and OKPay and other payment methods, which you can have from many other countries and allow you to do Swiss franc transactions.
Yeah, absolutely. As Felix mentioned, there are lots of options you can take from, and it's up to you how big is the offer, how far is the price distance from the current market price, and what payment method you want to choose. That's also one point where we need your support and your questions. So if you are from Switzerland, for example, and you think we are lacking an essential payment method for this market, please let us know, and we try to implement it and release it before the liquidity week itself. Let me just quickly check my notes on the liquidity weeks. Yeah, so just to repeat it once again, the liquidity weeks will run from the 2nd to 8th of July in parallel. So we'll have, it's a kind of a first time for us. So we have our fiat liquidity week and our crypto liquidity week at the same time. And as it is a community effort, we need your support to make it a success. I will now quickly show you where you can actually find this issue and where you can ask any other questions. For that, I just quickly will share my browser screen. So yeah, so if you go on GitHub into the Bisq network organization, there we have a growth repository, and in the issues section, you see not only the issue for today's growth call, but you also see the liquidity weeks. And here, for example, if you want to participate in the Monero Bitcoin liquidity week, you can just go there and put a thumbs up there, and we know that you want to participate and try to contact you. You will get any updates on this issue if something changes, and of course you can ask any question regarding the liquidity week itself. As I already mentioned in the beginning, that we not only need to grow the Bisq network, but and with that we normally mean the trading volume, but we also need to grow the community and the contributor base. So if you want to get more involved into Bisq, there are lots of options for you to take. For that, I want to switch to another repository on GitHub. So it's the roles repository. And again, we are now in the issues. So there are 41 open roles to be taken. So there are a lot of options, and they are not just for people with software engineering background, but also for everyone. So especially if you don't have a clear idea what you want to do, you could even filter for the help wanted label, and then you will see all the roles where we definitely want people to take either the primary or the secondary role. So if you are interested, for example, let's say you are experienced on YouTube and you want to help out there, you could have a look at the YouTube admin role. The structure is the same for each role, so you can have a look on the top. You will see there are primary, secondary roles and owners, and also sometimes we have additional support people involved. So if you want to take over this role, the best thing is to contact the primary owner or the secondary one. So the primary in that case would be me. So you can contact us on Slack or just write right here in the issue that you're interested to take over to help out, and then we'll take you from there. And yeah, each role is, some roles are more defined already, but most of the roles evolve over time. So it's not that you get your fixed description, you have to do this and this and that. Of course, there is already experience and some lots of roles evolved over time. So the existing owner will give you a good explanation and an onboarding how to fulfill this role. And from that point, it's up to the owner of this role where in what direction it should go. Let me just quickly check. I think yes, that's the most important thing for roles. Besides that, if you want to get involved, we have a very good documentation for new contributors, our contributor checklist. You can just go through this checklist, have a look at documents, set up your accounts, and if you have done that, you're good to go and to take a role, and of course also get compensated for every effort that improves the Bisq network itself. So I will just quickly stop the screen sharing again. So besides that, I want to discuss quickly, maybe also with you, Felix and Manfred, what's your point on the growth calls itself? Do you think we should continue to do this every week, or maybe we do it just every other week? The reason why I want to bring this up is I have limited resources at the moment, and I want to focus a little bit more on the software engineering side, on fixing some bugs on the client itself. And yeah, one way to get more time would be to just do this the growth call every second week. What's your point?
I think it's very worthwhile, even if they're very short, only 10 or 15 minutes, to do them every week. I can help if you don't have the time, but you know, it's a good way to keep a beat of whatever's new, what's happening, and I think they're invaluable both to promote like the liquidity weeks, but also many other things that can be done, but also for recruitment purposes, so that people not only know what's being done and can help and join, but also to attract other people who might be able to help with the project. In fact, I think one of the first things we should do, if at all possible, with the growth calls, is to invite people from outside Bisq who might be interested. Maybe do Q&A sessions. I don't know. Maybe have people from representative of certain countries. There's many things that could be done. I know it takes time, and same as you, I don't have much. But if you can't do them every week, maybe you could alternate.
Yeah. If that's something that you would be up for, that would be awesome. That would be really great help. So of course I can participate on every growth call, but just to do the preparations, and it takes some time, and yeah, it would be great if you could just switch each week, that every other week someone else is up for doing it. Of course, for the next one or two, we can do it together. Maybe I can show you around within the tool. It's quite straightforward, of course. But yeah, that would be really awesome. Yeah, if you could do that.
Count me in then.
Yeah. So let's talk maybe tomorrow or latest next week, and I will show you the tools, and we can do this. Perfect. Yeah. As we don't have as many viewers as I recreated the event, still don't know why the old event didn't have the start broadcast button available. So sorry about that. Manfred, from your side, is there anything you want to bring up or discuss today?
Maybe just a quick news. I decided, because there are quite a few bugs at the moment. Maybe it's just because we have more users, and that's good, of course. But I got a threat that we are losing some of those users because they run in some repeated bugs, that some trade failed and so on. So I decided to prioritize this. And as we had already planned, that we add some acknowledgement messages to every trade message, to all important messages which are sent, that we receive from the other peer acknowledgement. And when something has failed on the other side, then we should get more information why it has failed. And that should help us to find the reasons for these problems. Also, beside this, I try to find a solution to only publish the taker fee transaction in case when the deposit transaction is final, also at the same time, more or less. It's not 100% clear if it's possible to do this, but I will try to find a solution, because that's another issue that sometimes, when on the maker side something fails, there can be a network problem, but it can be also it seems that there are some bugs, but we have not found out yet what it is. Then for the taker, after he has paid already the fee, when it fails after that moment, then he has lost the trading fee, which is not super much money at the moment, because the mining fee is very low. But like back in December, it was quite a lot of money just because of the mining fee. And it's annoying, of course. So we try to fix this as well. Not sure if both will make it to the next release. We will try to push them the next release next week, basically, or as soon as possible. And depending this second part with the trade, with the taker fee transaction, that's a little bit of change in the trade protocol that might be more complicated, and I'm not 100% sure if I can make it also for this release, but hopefully. And to all the users who are, I try to follow on forum and so on and answer, but of course it takes quite a lot of time, and luckily there are a few other people who help, but often it's then technical problems where the other support guys cannot really help too much. So when we are not super responsive there, it doesn't mean that we're ignoring this. It's just that our time are limited, and as long as this bugs are not escalating too much, we need to focus also on other stuff like getting the DAO done and pushing the liquidity, and so it's but we take it
any news on the DAO ETA, Manfred?
So I just implemented the reputation part, or this merit part, so that when a contributor make a voting, that his past contribution request, what he has earned in the past requests, will be counted as well for the vote. That's now added as well. And then now they're missing a few other features like the bonding and the parameter change, so that you can vote on changing parameters of the DAO. That will probably not be rolled out in the very first version, but we want to implement it at least in a prototype quality code, so that we know that it works, that it wouldn't require a hard fork when something is missing in the protocol or in the data structures. And when this is done, we start doing more testing and getting the code finished. Also, functional, it's already nearly finished, but to get it really production ready, hard to estimate at the moment, but I hope in more or less in 2 months that we are ready for testnet. And then depends how it works on testnet, and there are no bugs, and so maybe 1 or 2 months later that we're on mainnet.
Yes, so sounds great. Thanks, Manfred. Yeah, and as Manfred mentioned already, that's also one of the reasons why it's great, Felix, that you can help out on running the growth calls, so I can spend more time on developing as well. So not the main effort is just the main work is on Manfred's side alone. Let me just quickly check if I have anything else on the task list, to-do list.
Oh yeah, so while you look, there is one thing that needs to be mentioned. Another Bitcoin centralized exchange was hacked this week. It's now happening every single week. This honeypot, this hacking of centralized exchanges with hot pools that are online cannot happen with Bisq, because every user controls his own private keys, his own Bitcoins, his own payment method, and there is no risk of a big hack. You can have smaller risks, but they're all decentralized. So for one attacker to go after every user, he would have to attack individually every node in the Bisq network. Is that right, Manfred?
Mostly. I mean, of course, when somebody would manage to hack their peer-to-peer network or their binary, then it could be also a systemic hack, but it's much harder, and hopefully that will never happen. So unfortunately, I cannot assign this completely that just because it's decentralized that there are no risks, but it's a different risk situation. And of course, to have a central server, yeah, then you have a huge honeypot, and as it happens all the time, we see that this model is flawed.
Yeah, so you have to make sure if you download the Bisq client, try to download it from the Bisq website, from GitHub, verify the signatures, so that you are sure what you're downloading and running on your client is what was released from the Bisq team.
Yeah, that's very important, and we take a lot of care for this with the signatures. We have just added reproducible build for the jar file, at least. For the binary, it's a little bit complicated and difficult. And when you download the new version over the application itself, as this in-app downloader, it does all the verifications for you. So it's much more secure, like when you go to GitHub and download it yourself, because the signature key, the BGP key, is already in the old binary and will be checked again with that was on GitHub is. So it's even more secure, like when you are downloading on GitHub and make your signatures check there yourself. So we are taking a lot of care for all this, and we will also try in future to have several developers who are doing the builds and then verifying, cross-verifying the jar file at least, and hopefully also the binary at some point. By the way, if any developer is out there who is familiar with reproducible builds or with Gideon builds, that would be a cool thing to get solved someday. It's unfortunately quite a difficult challenge. Yeah, on the peer-to-peer network side, we have a developer who will start soon. He's a little bit delayed because of moving flats and so on, but he's very motivated and very good developer who has just finished his PhD and expert on peer-to-peer network and security. So
yeah.
On the liquidity front, I think very quickly it's worth mentioning that some brave soul from Vietnam has started a market in Vietnamese dong on Bisq. I don't think there's been any trades so far, but if you're from Vietnam, you want to trade on Bisq, now is the best chance you will have in many, many months, because there's actually about 8 offers available for the taking. So
wow.
Calling anyone from Vietnam to come and join Bisq.
Should make a liquidity week for Vietnam.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's a great country.
I got also a message today from a woman from Korea who wants to help as ambassador. I delegated a little bit that she should post it in the public forums because I'm too busy with development stuff, but hopefully she will be active there, and it would be great to get somebody in Korea. Bitcoin is very strong there. And another kind of news on the development side, a new developer started to become active, and he's a very high professional developer, and it's not clear what exactly he will work on, maybe on the fee estimation service or on gRPC for making integration tests for the DAO, or there are many areas where he would be interested in, and he will see where he goes. But we're looking forward for his contribution.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So if there are not any more questions from the audience or from you guys, I would wrap it up. So again, don't forget, from 2nd to 8th of July, we have 2 liquidity weeks at the same time, Swiss franc and Monero. So if you want to join us, ping us on Slack, on GitHub within the issue, and we'll guide you from there. If not, then next week we'll have the growth call again on Thursday. And yeah, maybe Felix, you will have the premiere and run it for the first time. And yeah, I'm really looking forward for doing more engineering work soon. So talk to you soon, and have a great rest of the week. Bye.
Bye-bye.